Greetings, badasses. My name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga company. Yoga for the rest of us. All of the benefits, none of the bullshit. Well, there's no fitness bullshit here. There's plenty of other bullshit here. Today is not yoga, it's Pilates. This is a Pilates routine, shall I say. Stella. Just saw Stella. I've known Stella since she was un infant, mere weeks old. Stella, you were weeks old. You were this tiny. I didn't say this to you at work, but I'm going to call your mother. Anyway, you can do what you want. Oh, goodness gracious me. What are we doing? We're doing Pilates. I don't necessarily have a plan here. I'm kind of winging it. And I'm winging it because I have a problem. I have a problem that I don't think we're discussing enough. There's a lot of things I don't think we discuss enough as women for fear of offending men, for fear of appearing, human. And here's my struggle with this situation is that, men, I'm going to just a general instrumental playlist. I'm not going to do, I'll go here. We'll see how irritating this one is. We'll see. That one might be kind of irritating, but I'm going to stick with it. And the reason I'm sticking with it is when I'm doing Pilates, so this is not my struggle, but we're going to talk about my struggle in a minute. I like to listen to music that is instrumental only because there's so much internal work. You have to really direct your attention to what's going on right here, from the shoulders to the knees. And when you're paying attention to music that has, unlike yoga, which I curate those playlists I curate those playlists with an intention, I want to tap into some emotion that maybe I'm feeling at the time or that I think, really suits, let's say, a vinyasa flow, which is a strong energy practice. I like those playlists are music, right? Like popular music or, that have lyrics. Pilates, I like to just listen to instrumental music with no lyrics, and ideally not anything I recognize, so that I can really focus on what my body's doing. I want to get really in here, But the music offers a sort of distraction to my critical brain, so that I can keep this part of my brain a little bit busy, but I can stay focused with this part of my brain, and I can really get in tune with my body and stop that it's not it's a self-critic. It's the busy part, right? It's the shitty part of your brain. I'm sorry, we have it. And so I've developed this little technique to distract that brain, right, from what I'm doing over here. And that is music. Okay, so I am struggling with a problem, and it was a problem that I had last year. I went through some physical therapy for it. And interestingly enough, there's a reason, right? The physical therapist, you know what, let me make myself a note. I want to schedule a chiropractor appointment, and I want to schedule a massage, some body work. Schedule chiropractor and massage therapist. And by massage therapist, I mean body work. All right. So I'm leaking urine. My body. So what the deal is? Of course, I had this. I don't know how the internet is doing it, but it's definitely listening and eavesdropping because I'm getting all these articles about how your bladder should work. And listen, 90% of those articles are bullshit, right? It's all pseudoscience and ooey gooey nonsense. Not ooey gooey, hoodoo, voodoo nonsense. And actually, I shouldn't say voodoo because voodoo is a religion. So let me, I need to get another one. Higgledy-piggledy, kit and caboodle. I don't know. I got to figure out a new little phrase for nonsense because it's all out there, right? I'm a woman who had 3 babies vaginally, which literally kind of destroys your body. Okay. It's a transformative experience, and it's really hard on your body. And I went through a phase where my bladder was just letting go, and it's a nerve. So what the physical therapist told me, and you know what, I should probably verify this before I spew, but I'm gonna tell you that there's your pelvic floor and the muscles that keep your urethra and your bladder in control are active all the time. And then when you feel like you have to urinate, right, that nerve triggers something. I'm going to double check because this also sounds like bullshit to me. And let me tell you, physical therapists are also full of bullshit. They run the gamut. And so your bladder then releases because there's an electrical stimulus that's not happening and you leak, right? So I did a bunch of physical therapy. They did a lot of manipulation of because I fell and broke my tailbone right after I had my second child. And that's what she asked me. She was like, have you ever damaged your sacrum? Like, have you ever landed on your tailbone? And of course I had. So I've got some compression going on. It's pressing on a nerve, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so right? And let me tell you, based on the number of fucking articles that I'm getting, it's a real thing. Like, a lot of women are experiencing leaks, incontinence. So, I went back to my physical therapy exercises, which is a lot of Pilates work, honestly. So that's why today is going to be kind of a grab bag full of some lower body work, some upper body work, and some middle body work. But the lower body work is all going to be some twisting, some stabilizing, and some counter weight work. But what I mean by counterweight is we're going to be doing some cross body twisting and stabilizing. Now, that being said, I got me some really groovy a really groovy little toy. And P.S. I went ahead and just sucked it up. I ordered my Pilates springboard. Now, you don't need to have your Pilates springboard. I'm not going to judge you for it. I need to repair this. It got snagged. I'll do some work on that. I'm going to be using a stabilization ball. This is a little ball that goes between your knees to squeeze, right? I'm going to be using the Ring of Fire. I'm going to be doing this on my upper body as we work to the lower body. I'm going to be twisting. And I'm also going to be I'm upping my weight on this tension band, which is going to go right around my knees to help activate my pelvic floor, right? So, and then Ring of Fire is going upper body. This is going down. This is going on. Excuse me, I've also got a little headache. I got to take an allergy pill is what I got to take. Oh, and, sorry, look at this wonderful little thing. Remember, I've been talking about a foam wedge. This was $10. And I'm going to use this. And when I get my Pilates springboard, I'm going to be so happy because then I'm going to get the beard to mount a strap on this floor so that I can use that springboard and push. It's got a push bar. I just, you know what I mean? I shouldn't have, but I just put it on my damn credit card because you know what? I'm kind of becoming paranoid. I've been watching my dad work through his recovery. I've been helping him. You guys have been seeing me help him. He had a physical therapy a home physical therapist came on Monday. I don't even know what fucking day it is. Anyway, she came once this week. And here's what, well, you know what? I'll talk about that as we work. I said we've been doing I'm a yoga instructor. I'm a therapeutic yoga instructor. I'm a Pilates instructor. I teach calisthenics, and I'm a cyclist. You know, I'm an exercise instructor, fitness. And she gave me a look, not disgusted, but it was close to like, oh, and what have you been doing with him? And then I told her what I've been doing with him in the chair that we've been working on, that y'all have been seeing on those chair workouts. And it's like half her exercise book. She literally came with a book of listed exercises for hip recovery. And like the first 3 pages, right, we've been doing. So fuck off, right? All right. And by the way, I have to go get some firewood today, and I'm going to go do some gravel run, and I've got to go get water. But when I get back, we're going to do another video with my dad. All right, little rock side to side. We're going to do pelvic tilts, divipotopedum. We're going to do 3 rounds of different placement of feet and different roll-ups. So the first one is just a pelvic tilt. The second one's going to be full divipotopedum. The third one is going to be full roll-up with a leg lift, okay? So those are the 3 that we're going to do. I am going to rest my arms at my side, palms down. I'm going to have a nice round shape of the arm. I'm not reaching down. I don't want to press into my hands. Flatten those shoulder blades and press the triceps into the mat. Another great way to stabilize these arms and remember this openness of chest is to rest your fingertips on your belly, right? In fact, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to rest my fingertips on my belly. Oh, is there anybody else drying out? Well, anybody in the high altitude desert? Oh my God, I feel like there's sand under my eyes. Oh, so dry. All right, here we go. I want a nice parallel placement of legs. Gosh, this band is really burning my legs. All right, pelvic floor up and in, low belly. Engage that low belly toward the center of the body. Scoop the belly button toward the spine. Tuck the rib cage. Press into the shoulder blades. Inhaling to prepare. We exhale to pelvic tilt. This is right here, right here, right here. Inhale, unwind. And exhale. Sorry, I'm having some asthma issues. And exhale. I really need to take an allergy pill. I'm going to do that. And exhale. Every time you pause or release into the mat, I want you to pull the pelvic floor up and in, squeeze the belly together, tuck those ribs, press into the triceps and shoulder blades. 4 more. And 2. And 1. And release. Take a little sway side to side. Jennifer C., I want you to write me a review. I'm going to post it on my website because this is what pissed me off about the physical therapist. When Jennifer C. was having some issues with things, I said, oh, you should do this and you could do this and how about that? Which are all things that I've mentioned before that we do in yoga or Pilates. And she said, you just told me everything that my orthopedic surgeon told me. Oh, you just told me everything my physical therapist told me. And I said, see, I know shit. So, and of course, the physical therapist doesn't know who I am. And listen, when you say yoga instructor, I get two responses. I either get the yoga spiritual, I'm going to call them Nazis just because of there are yoga fascists out there, you know what I mean? That you can only be practicing or doing yoga in one specific way, right? And it usually involves phrases like rinse out your spinal fluid. You can't rinse your spinal fluid. It's a closed system. It just moves in that system. There's no rinsing, right? Or you get kind of these hardcore yoga instructors who actually damage people, right? There's no modification. There's no adjustment. They're like hardcore workout yoga people who are doing things like power yoga, right? Power yoga is an oxymoron. No, it's not even an oxymoron. I don't even know what the word is. Power and yoga should not have anything, that should not be the name of anything. And so I'm sure that she was like, oh, here we go, some fucking bullshit yoga person. You know. Because yoga, there's a lot of fucking yoga people out there who injure people. Not this fucking yoga bitch, but it's just, people don't want my kind of yoga. Like they need it. It's valuable. It's very valuable. But I don't know. People have yoga stereotypes. I don't fit a yoga stereotype, if you hadn't noticed. All right, this is me procrastinating because that was really hard. Let's do a full Divipadipedum, bridge pose, active. But remember, the breathing is opposite. We're going to exhale on the way up and scoop and really make this a squeeze of the hips toward the rib cage. I'm sorry, my eyes are so bothering me. And we're going to hold and take a breath. And then we're going to exhale, roll down, again, activating the core. All right, here we go. Inhaling to prepare. And we're exhaling. We're going to roll up and scoop. Squeeze the glute, squeeze the glute, squeeze the glute, squeeze the glute. Scoop, 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 scoop. Take a sip of air. And now I want you to go even more deeply hollow into these ribs. And down. That's it. Take a sip of air and come down. Try to keep your knees stable. Don't let them sway out or in. That's what I love about these tension bands. Is that I can't sway out and I can't squeeze in because I need to hold some pressure. Take your sip of air and roll down. Against the band. Inhaling. Take your sip of air and exhale. 3 more. Fuck, this is hard. This is why. 2 more. I was telling you a big long story. Take a sip of air and go down. Here's what I did love about seeing you, Stell. We don't see each other enough. I get it. I mean, even though I feel like your auntie, since I've known you, since you were this big. You have an extremely large family, resting. Whew. You have a lot of people in your sphere. And I get it. You're busy, you're working. You and Audra are kind of, ow. Rocking up. I think I just got a fucking splinter. Oh, no, I didn't. I get a rash. When I wash my hands a lot. our water is very, oh, that one actually might be a splinter. Or maybe I just popped open this thing. I get these weird eczema, this kind of weird eczema rashes when I'm washing my hands all the time. And I just popped one of them open. I got to go put my cream on. All right. Where was I going with Stell? Oh! I thought this was complimentary. Stell does yoga and Pilates and stuff with me. Maybe, I don't know, are you doing calisthenics? With me, she said every day. I said, no, they said, I do, I said, what's going on with you? We haven't seen each other, blah, blah, blah. And she said, I work out with you every day, and so I feel like I know exactly what's going on with you. So that's either a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, but I'd still love to see your face more. All right. Not being your mother, I get to say those kinds of things. And if you think I don't say those kinds of things to my offspring, you are wrong. But all right, we're going to do our squeeze up. We're going to stabilize. So in that pause when we take an inhale, I want you to really focus on pulling your pelvic floor up and in and zipping up that pelvic or that Pilates zip up, right? We're going to stabilize, and then you're either going to roll up to the ball of your foot, or you're going to lift your entire foot off the mat. Now, look, I'm not lifting it high. I can't lift it high because of this tension band, which I also love. So it keeps me in this perfect range of motion, right? When we're working with Pilates, which is low and slow, which is the same in calisthenics. We're going low and slow. All right, here we go. Inhaling to prepare. Pull all that pelvic or Pilates zip up. Check it all in. Exhale. Okay, we're stabilizing. Double check the zip up. Take an inhale. I'm going to press into my shoulder blades, and I'm lifting the foot right off the mat or rolling up to the ball of the foot, and I'm placing it down, inhaling and exhaling. So I think there's 3 breaths in that routine. Inhale, exhale, squeeze up, stabilize, inhale, exhale, inhale, take that foot down, and exhale. Maybe it's just 2. Inhale, exhale. Take a sip of breath. Exhale. Inhale down. Oh no, it's 3. And exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Stabilize. Take a sip of breath. Inhale, exhale. 2 more sets. That's 4 more repetitions. I messed up the breathing on that one. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. 1 more set. I definitely need the chiropractor. And roll down. If you are local, I love Joshua Russell. I think that's his name. You know what I like about Josh? As a chiropractor. Okay, I gotta get it out of those. Whoo! I'm gonna have a drink of water. That was a lot of fucking work. Excuse me. What I like about Josh is it's not a plan, right? You go and see him when you're feeling it. And he doesn't do the same thing every single time. I mean, there's a couple things he will do every single time. He'll do the cross your arms and lay on my fist thing, which is kind of it is a spinal extension. he will do the cross your arms, go to your side. He moves, you're in a twist. I think that gets deeper into here. But when you're doing when he doesn't, those I think are the only two things he does on the reg. Then he will check your feet and do some things. He will check your alignment. He does it based on your body. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to do the same thing every single time. You know what I mean? And sometimes he uses the gun. Sometimes he uses a thumper. And sometimes it's just, I'm going to stretch your QLs, which also makes me cry a little bit. But okie dokie, Smokey. Let's go ahead and do our roll-ups, roll-downs. And then I'll do the stabilization with the ball. I'm going to use this one. We're going to do our twists. All right, so I'm going to use the ring. But if you have a strap, you could also use your strap. And I like the ring because it's not fixed necessarily, but I'll show you. If you have a prop that you normally use, like a tea towel or the yoga strap. I mean, the yoga strap is really, it's usually under $10. You really invest in a yoga strap. It's just a multi-purpose tool. I'm going to show you with the strap, and then I'm going to move to the ring of fire. I want you to take a little rock side to side, pull your glutes out from underneath your sit bones, inhaling up. I want you nice and tall. Look how tall and forward I am. And I have to engage my core here to pull my body as tall towards the ceiling as I can. We're going to inhale up. We'll exhale into the C curve. We're going to C curve it, C curve it, C curve it. Push into the strap to prevent your body from flopping down. Inhale. Exhale. I'm rolling up. And now I'm going to push gently into the strap, but I want to use my core to roll off the mat. And then I'm going to release. We're going to work one side, 8 reps. Are we going to do 8? Let's aim for 6, and if we feel like we can do 8, we'll do 8. And then we're going to switch and do it on the other side. Now, I'm going to use the ring of power. Alicia, I'm talking to you. All of these things will be brilliant. Right? As you are working towards improving your core, it's going to be important. All right. Wow, I'm doing this. I'm getting a big stretch in my delts and up my straps. Tight, tight, tight. All right, inhaling, up. I'm going to exhale. Roll, 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 roll. Those shoulders can roll forward. I'm scooping around the waistband. Inhale. Exhale. Roll up first. Scoop. Take an inhale if you need to continue that lift. And release. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, exhale, take a sip of air, and continue round, 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 and release. Inhale, exhale, scoop. Now, control that release to the mat with the leg. Exhale, take a sip of breath, continue that exhale, and release. I forgot how many that was. Let's say that's 3. Let's aim for 3 more. And then if I feel like it, or if I think you've got it in you, we'll do 2 more after that. Oh. Oh. Well, 3 might be it. 2 more, even for me. The challenge for all of us, oh yeah, we're going to go 1 more, is, right, I want to do 6 in a great form. This is what I was telling my dad last night because we were doing his physical therapy exercises while we were unloading the groceries. All right, we're switching. Is that the temptation is to do more because you think doing more will make you stronger. Once you're fatigued, just like that, knowing we have 6 more to do on this side, if you do 8 and the last 3 are shitty, you're not really helping yourself, is what, shitty form. All right, here we go. But now we have 6 on this side, so we want to concentrate on very good form. Inhaling up, exhaling. Inhale. Scoop, 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 scoop. All right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Scoop, 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 scoop. Whew, that was an exhale. So a couple of things to concentrate on. Sorry, I felt like I was yelling. Keeping that knee bent, keeping the foot dorsiflexed, and in good alignment. So don't let that, you notice my toe wanted to rock out to the side. I want to keep my toes parallel to the mat, my foot. Wow, I didn't even take a breath on that one. That was bad. So keeping the big toe and middle toe pointed towards the ceiling. Try not to hold the breath. I think that we have got 2 more. My inclination is to hold my breath. I don't want you to do that. And release. Woo! All right, that was hard and a challenge, but it also felt really good. Nice, lovely stretch in the back. All right, we're going to do some twisting. And I'm going to use this stabilization ball. And what I like about a stabilization ball, or, your ring of fire, but I'm going to use my ring of fire. The stabilization ball, and this is important when we're doing these movements, as opposed to the tension band. Let's talk about the difference. We are going to be doing some oblique twists, right? When I'm in the tension band, because of the nature of the oblique twist, your knees are going to press in. Now, you can absolutely do this. Pressed in, we do. This is actually a version of what we are doing. Feet, ankles, calves, knees, quads, right? Thighs. Squeeze together, and then we do this one peeling off the mat. Right? I want this version because I'm going to do some counter tension with the upper body, and I'm going to be twisting in the opposite direction. So I'm going to come here, and if you don't have these tools, don't worry about it. Go without the ball, or you could put a hand towel or a rolled up a pillow in between your knees, a little throw pillow if you got one, and squeeze just to add that. You'll feel this activation up the adductors and into the pelvic floor. And again, if you don't have a ring of fire, just press. I'm of an age, do you remember? I must increase my bust. That was actually I don't even know if that was a TV commercial or what, but, right? You used to press in to improve your pec strength because women were taught that you had to have large breasts and that this would give you large breasts. And fuck off, right? My breasts are none of your goddamn business. All right. I do want strong pecs. I do want strong biceps. I do want strong delts. I want to stabilize my upper back and strengthen my rhomboids and my latissimus dorsi and my trapezius, right? Because you can't throat punch someone if you don't have good upper body core control. So that's really, right? Fuck your boobs. Let's talk about throat punching people. All right. So that being said, I'm going to rock to my lower body to the left, and I'm going to work my upper body to the right. And then I'm inhaling back to center and exhaling right. Lower body moves right, upper body moves left. Inhaling. I want you to zip up that pelvic floor. Fuck. You're going to see me do some of these when I get my springboard. This is called, there's a thing called a Pilates pull. And if you are at the gym or you have a machine, it's this one where you can pull this way, right? That's what we're mimicking in this when we do this exercise, is a Pilates pull. And we're adding the counter extension or twist of the lower body. Inhale, exhale. Let's take a sip of breath here and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Fuck. I think I'm just going to say that every time I come back. Inhale. Fuck. One more set. I'm getting a foot cramp. And I'm getting an adductor cramp. No, that's a hip flexor cramp. Woo! Holy Toledo. Remember when I said, oh, that sounds like a great idea? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh. Wiggling the fingers, rolling the wrists. That was some tension in my upper body. Ooh. Okay. All right, a couple things I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my foam wedge. Feeling so sassy. You can put that, you can fold a blanket and put it up underneath your hips. We've done that one before. I'm also going to pull my other. These are stabilization balls. I'm going to pull my other stabilization ball out. And I'll show you how to modify that. I don't even know what that looks like, but that's what it's going to do. And I'm grabbing my 10 pounds weights. Maybe I want to grab those 10 pounders. I don't know. So I don't know if you can see that, but I got myself a lovely weight stand. Mostly because I was pulling weights for my dad to use. So I took my little 2 pound and 3 pound ones, the yellow and green ones, into his room so that he could use those. Oh, maybe I'll go 15s. All right, I'm going to move my 10 pounders back. And I got him these ankle weights so when he gets stronger, I actually might use these in yoga. We'll see. I lied. I'm going to grab these 15 pounders only because they're bigger. I'm going to find me a lovely decorative pair of 15 pounders to go with my weight stack. Totally and completely aesthetic. No real use for it. Oh, you know what? This is not going to work for me because it's in the way. That's what I'm talking about. Wasn't paying attention. All right. I'm going to use that stabilization ball. But first, I'm going to do some hip lifts. This is some rollover prep. So in yoga, we call this plow pose. In Pilates, it's called a rollover. And in Pilates, you do this usually on the tower, and the bench on the tower has a strap. And then you can use the spring, the push-through bar, to help stabilize your feet. I'm going to go ahead and add the ball. And I'm going to put this is the beauty of the wedge, look at that. If you don't have a wedge, which you probably don't because I just bought this, I think it was $7. Grab a blanket, roll it up, and tuck it underneath your back. And this is what's called a reverse crunch. Maybe they're called hip lifts. I don't know. In a workout class, right? And instead of just pumping up and down, right? I want you to pump up and then take your toes a little bit over the top of your head, come back and down. It's not going to be a big movement. This is a hard thing. And the reason I have these weights here is for stabilization. So like I said, on a tower bench, I'll show you with my springboard. My springboard is going to mimic a quote unquote tower, wall tower. Inhaling, we're exhaling and lifting. So I want you to roll up and lift and come down. And you see where a strap helps you there and come down. Because then you can stabilize your upper body and press your elbows into the mat. And if this is too much, that's why maybe at the edge of the couch you could do this, then press your hands into the top of the couch. And one more. And I'm more concerned. Oh, that's it. That last one turned a little sloppy. Did you see? Whew. I'm more concerned about the roll down. Woo! Now, I love me a plow pose, but not everybody can do it. Just because physically it's a challenge. And I can show you a plow pose for yoga. It's a big stretch. But then we're going to do some upper body work. So, right, this is a plow pose. Now, if we had a reformer or a tower, the beautiful thing about that is you can press into this and then control it. And that's what we want to do with the control of our core. Now, some of us have thunder thighs and booty and belly. And so your lower body's heavy. Your lower body's heavy anyway. It doesn't matter. Whew. Whew. That was rough. Can I just say a little out of practice, a little out of shape. And I'm acknowledging that I'm a little out of shape. I'm going to grab a glass of water. This is me procrastinating. Wiggle your toes. I'm getting a foot cramp. You know why I'm getting a foot cramp? Because the rest of my body's going, what the fuck are you doing? Hoo. All right. I'm grabbing a blanket to cushion my hip because we're going to do some side work on our hip. I am going to use this stabilization ball. If you don't have a stabilization ball, you can do this on a poof. You could do this on an ottoman, right? You could do anything that is, I'll show you what's going to happen. And I'll show you how you can do it on an ottoman. You're just going to come on up on the ottoman and you're going to pretend that it's there's a Pilates chair that I would love to have, which also has a spring on it. I just don't have enough room. When I move this studio to the basement or my neck, I'm looking for a grain silo. If you know anybody who has a 25-foot diameter grain silo 3-tier, I want it. Let me know. I'm actually going to contact the guy I know he has 4 of them. And I'm going to find out if I can go get one. Spend my time taking that bitch apart. So you can see if you had an ottoman, you could just lay on your ottoman with your rib cage off the side. Now, I've got my feet spread here. I want to stabilize. Actually, this would be easier on an ottoman. I'm going to push my bolsters out of the way. Whew. All right, you ready? See where we're going? Yeah, we're going to lift. Look at how tiny it is. And come down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale, down. Now I'm just doing my shoulders. I'm letting my head and neck, woo, come along with. And down. Don't lift with your head. I was craning my neck, and I could feel that tension. This is about the shoulders and the ribs. 4. And I'm holding there to stabilize. 3. It's kind of slipping. 2. Whoa, and that's me getting fatigued because I'm having to stabilize and lift. 1. And now I'm going to stretch. Okay, so you can see what happens when you're not in good form. I'm getting tired. My core said, fuck you, and quit. And then I started rocking back and forth on this stabilization ball, which needs a little air. I'm going to have to spend some time with the compressor because I have a different stabilization ball. I have a new one. I don't know how it's going to work compared to that orange one. I'm trying to utilize some things with my dad, and that means leaving him in there, in his room. So he's a little bit more familiar with them. You know, so I'm not like shocking him with anything, like sex toy, right? True story. Rhonda S., you'll appreciate this. We talked about Love and Logic. We were Love and Logic family. Still I love Love and Logic. And I know that a couple of therapists we use or have worked with in the past don't. The problem with Love and Logic, or the struggle with it, is it can turn snarky real quick. And we're snarky anyway. So you really have to build your empathy. But it's all about natural consequences and creating unnatural consequences so that little kids, can learn how to make good decisions, critical thinking. When the consequences and the, let's see, what we want, I guess it's consequences, are not expensive, right? I'll give you an example. When you are an adult and you have road rage and you decide to ram somebody with your car because they're being a dick. I got to put my knee down. Oh, no, I can't. We have 3 more and I'm really tired. Can you see? And this is a challenge on this side of my body as opposed to the other side. So one side of your body is always going to be stronger. We have 3 more. I'm holding there. And 1 more. So if you ram somebody with your car in a road, right, there's big consequences. Your insurance is going to go up. You're going to have to pay for their insurance. You're going to get a ticket, blah, blah, blah. It's money, it's expense, it's inconvenience, all the things. Holy shit. Okay. We could just stretch. When the kids were little, I don't know why I'm talking about this or where I went with this. Oh, because I brought up sex toys. Son 1 and son 2, Xbox, PS, gaming consoles. I'm going to take a round child's pose and tuck the tailbone and come down. Oh. And you know, things like you can play the game. Inhaling. when your room is clean, right? There was a lot of if-then statements or if-when statements or as long as statements in Love and Logic. Like, there was a lot of arguments in our family about, oh, you let them do this or you let them do that. And it was, the rule in the house was, oh, as long as you're getting a B average or above, right? You have certain privileges with that. Or you can do that as long as your room is tidy before and so, when I was teaching, I also used that as a method in my classroom. I'm gonna take a little frog pose here to get these adductors stretched. And students, listen, kids love to find the loopholes. So they always thought that those statements sounded very voluntary. And you know what? They are. Those statements are absolutely voluntary as long as you're willing to face the consequences of not meeting those statements, of not meeting those benchmarks, those expectations, right? Tucking the toes together. I'm going to widen these knees. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to take a press back into these hips. Whoo. And it used to drive my kids crazy. And my students, once they started figuring out that there were consequences, right? Those statements indeed are voluntary, as long as you're willing to face the consequences. And that is really true of anything that we do in our life, right? Everything that we do in our life is a conscientious choice. Even though we don't treat our decisions that way, we make a conscientious choice, right? You follow the speed limit, right? If you follow the speed limit, that's a choice. If you don't, the potential is you could get a ticket and then your insurance rates go up and you've got to pay a ticket and blah, blah, blah. Those are consequences. So the boys, the game consoles were, as long as you do this, you can have access to your game. And then, right, when that thing does not get done, we would take the power cords to the game consoles and hide them. And of course, children, offspring, and I'm going to say everybody, we're all trying to find the loopholes. We're all trying to find the loopholes of the consequences. We are. And son one just admitted that, or told me this maybe a couple years ago as an adult, that we were always trying to find those power cords. And one time they did find the power cords, and I knew they had done that. So what I did is I went to Dr. John's, which is I don't know, is it still there? In Fort Collins, there's an adult entertainment store called Dr. John's, in which you can find things like dildos and vibrators and all those things. And I bought several very not in a million years sex toys. And I put those power cords in a drawer underneath the sex toys. And which is why I'm talking about sex toys, because I don't want to shock my father with any of this equipment. And son one told me, he said, oh my God, we were looking one time for those power cords and I came across that drawer full of sex toys and I stopped. That was it. That was the day. I just never looked for them again. And I just laughed. And I said, as an adult mother to an adult son, and I said, yes, that worked exactly the way I wanted them to work. I will say this as a parent, I would not want to parent. Sorry, let's go modified Z-sit. I'm talking and stretching and not guiding you. Welcome to my world. One leg in parallel to the mat. One leg out at a comfortable, maybe just past comfortable angle. And we're going to stretch. Big adductor stretch. And then I want you to lift an arm. Oh my goodness. And is that the end of my story? Yeah, I told him that was my intention. I knew that you guys were looking for those power cords. I'm pretty sure you found them once, right? And then hid them again. And then I took them. That's when I went and got those toys. It's a pretty brilliant move on my part. Also, natural consequences. You can look for those cords, but that's an invasion of an adult parent's privacy, and you might find something that you might not be comfortable with. Which is true of any roommate, right? The roommates, little rock side to side. Take those toes up to the ceiling, and now I'm going to take a little forward fold. Oh, and now that offspring, son one is a parent. He and the K-girl have had their baby. Let's see, how old is Kaz? September 2nd. So October 2nd, November 2nd, that's 2 months. December, 3 months old is that baby. Gonna be 4 months old. I'm gonna go see him at the end of January. So that baby will be almost 5 months old. And mind you, I'm only going to see that kid so that it knows who I am. Little legs extended into staff pose. Let's take a big fold. Oh. Because I want that kid to know it's meme. It's meme. Or, right? Maybe I should have just stuck with Nana. Nana. Mi nana. Abuela. Abuela. Oralita? Maybe? I don't know. Here's the thing about... Nah, that's all I've got. Hey! My name is Julia. This is a fucking yoga company. Yoga for the rest of us. All of the benefits. None of the fitness bullshit. There was plenty of bullshit in today's flow. Plenty of bullshit. Mostly to distract myself from what we just did. That's going to leave a mark. So tomorrow when you're like, oh, my back is a little achy, or, oh, my thighs, or my glutes, my adductors, my ribs are a little achy. That ache, right, is strength work. We just did it. So that's what we've got. We are heading into holiday season. I'm also working on balancing my this, which, I fundamentally do for you, but I also fundamentally do it for myself, with my responsibilities or the, duties, my presence. I'm going to call it a presence as a caregiver for my dad. I am more committed, though, to getting my ass on the mat because, listen, mobility is the key. Mobility is the key to flexibility of the mind, and we need our flexibility of mind to keep ourselves sharp and moving. All of this is a combo platter. We need to maintain our mobility of mind, of body, of spirit, because that's how we age well. Listen, we're all aging. That I just watched, Jamie Lee Curtis said, we're all getting old. We're all going to die. And to, as much as we want to airbrush it, clean it up, smooth it out, pretend it's not happening, right? It's happening. There's no pretending it's not happening. I mean, I'm sorry. You can pretend all you want that it's not happening. That's the truth, right? But pretending doesn't mean it's not. So let's get back on it. Let's get it. Let's keep it. Let's do it. Get your ass on the mat. Grace and kindness, motherfuckers. I'm telling you, I am not headed to town anytime soon because never mind. I'm not going to go another rant. I went on a rant. God, where do you get Pilates and fitness and parenting talk and sex toy talk all in the same place? Right here at the fucking yoga company. Ciao, badasses.